if you're looking to buy a home in Aiken, why not actually stay in a home in Aiken? So now we have the opportunity to really say, hey, client of the client group, come here. Let's put you in this house. Let's actually get you a feel to live in a house in Aiken, and let's showcase why you're actually moving here. Because really, there's no better feeling than living in a home. Hey everybody, it's Joshua Klein with Maybon Real Estate.
And I'm Bethany Klein.
And we're at the Collins property. So we found the Collins property in December of 2021. And the beautiful thing about this home, it's 1917, so over a 100-year-old home. And we walked in day one and it was just pure studs. So what do you think?
We fell in love with it. There was so much character, even though the state that we bought it in, it was like partially starting to be renovated. So you could see like this room that we're sitting in right now, it had been started, but then there were other spots of the home that were like completely down to the studs. So we had to really come in here and have a vision for like, what was this gonna look like? But I immediately fell in love with the charm and the character of the space and
location.
I could see what it could be.
Yeah.
And Josh and I have had this conversation for years. We've been flipping homes for a couple of years now. And we had always said, we want something close to downtown and something that could function as something other than just a flip. Like we flip a lot of homes, but we wanted to do something else. So we thought Airbnb was the way to go.
So when we bought the home, it was completely studs. So Bethany and I had to get together and make a true vision around this home. So originally it was like a big 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. So what was fun was Bethany and I actually got to come in on the house and hands and knees, we put down blue tape and actually put the beds where they were before there were even beds and actually walls. So originally the house was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, and we have now made this home into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with its own master suite. So that was a really neat process. And the first time we ever did that too.
This was special because we came in and really got to think like, what can this be? What is it now, but what could we do to make it a little bit better? So like he said, we came in, it was around Christmas time, and like we're in the kitchen, which was absolutely nothing. The kitchen was nothing when we came in, so we had to envision like, where should appliances go? And like, if you open this door, how does this function with the flow of it? So with a flip, historically, things are already in place. You just have to beef it up a little bit. But with this, we really came in and like redesigned things and like moved wall entrances, like added in hallways and moved an entrance to a bathroom to a different side of the wall and just really just changed the layout. But if we did anything, I feel like it just enhanced what this property once was and just made it a little bit better.
So when we bought the property, we've already told y'all that it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We had to come and do the design on the inside, which Bethany just hit a home run out the park with. But also, if you know anything about us, we love being outside in some space, some form. So one of the neat things about this property was it had basically 2 front porches in a convo way. So I kind of let Bethany tell you what her design and her imagination took off and what it's still gonna be.
The front yard, the front of the house, when you walked up initially, like the entire side yard was overgrown with trees and bushes. And I immediately looked at that and said, that could be an amazing courtyard one day. So, I mean, big vision. I'd love to string lights across one day and like that function as another courtyard. But immediately I was like, we need to clean it up and let that space function as something that can eventually be used. But then also the front, there was so much charm from the front of the house. I knew like after exterior paint, after we added like a splash of color with the door, we could really like amp up the front part. And what you'll see in some pictures and videos is there is like a covered porch area, which I have visions of a swing there one day, if my grandfather will build it for me. And the other side is just like an uncovered area, but I really wanted to add a little bit of something to it that would make it pop. So we added some railings that are very different. Yeah. You don't see that a whole lot around here, but like made it a same certain color, and now it just really pops. You drive by and like, obviously my eye is drawn to it, but I feel like anybody driving by would just say, wow, look at that house. Yeah. It stands out a little bit more now.
What's really neat also, that's a sunset view of the house. So at nighttime, you're having your afternoon cocktail for happy hour, and you can literally watch the sun set over the hill. In the certain time of the year, the camellia bushes all bloom right there. So it's just truly a way to kind of bring the whole property together, that front porch. So as most of y'all know, Bethany and I, we flipped numerous homes, but this one was a little bit different because the price point we got it at and the renovation budget, we had the opportunity to really kind of do a lot more with it. So Bethany had the idea of basically, why don't we make this an Airbnb? So why do we do Airbnb?
We did an Airbnb because I think it's just like adding a new facet to our portfolio. We have gained a lot of experience, and it's only been live for just a couple of weeks, but we've already learned a lot. We learned a lot about like the design process, and like the renovations are a little bit different because like with a flip, you know, like there's an end date and that's it. Now there was an end date, but like we are constantly like checking in on things and making sure things function as they should. So it's been a growing experience for both of us, but I think, yes, it's an Airbnb and it will function as that, but we also now have the opportunity to like host events here if we need to for like your clients or your whoever. It can be an event space. It can, you know, really be anything that we want it to be.
Yeah,
It could be a getaway.
Yeah, I think one of the neatest things we can do for like the client group is when clients come into town to see Aiken and we want to showcase Aiken. Yes, it's great to stay at a hotel. It's great to stay downtown at the Wilcox or the Carriage House or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with those. But if you're looking to buy a home in Aiken, why not actually stay in a home in Aiken? So now we have the opportunity to really say, hey, client of the client group, come here. Let's put you in this house. Let's actually get you a feel to live in a house in Aiken, and let's showcase why you're actually moving here. Because really, there's no better feeling than living in a home.
Right. One of my favorite things that we've done about this property through the renovation is we have incorporated different, just like touches throughout the home. One example is local coffee. We have local coffee in our coffee bar. Anything that we can like plug Aiken or just plug like different things. So if it is a client who is potentially going to live here, they can really get a full glimpse of what that looks like. We have a book that we leave in the house that has 100 things that we love to do in Aiken or the surrounding areas. We just are really like showing them our favorite facets of Aiken and what we love and what we enjoy. And we've tried to incorporate that through all the details as we've done this.
Yeah. So one of the key differences between choosing an Airbnb and just a flip home was actually buying the furniture.
I remember we sat down one evening, probably multiple evenings at our house, and literally just read article upon article, made list upon list of like, what do we need for this to function as a home? And I'm telling you, like, you don't think about those things when you stay in a hotel, but like for an Airbnb, it was like, okay, we need to think about makeup wipes. that was a back and forth for us. Yeah. We just had to think about everything that we needed to function so this could function as a home. So yes, the furniture was a big thing. I mean, all of the things. We had IKEA trips.
Yeah, but honestly, we had so many friends supporting us, and we couldn't do it without them. Honestly, the whole way through it was, hey, we're redoing our house. You can use this artwork for your mantle or whatever it was. So right. I mean, without our friends truly supporting us there, we wouldn't have had some of the great little character things in the home that made it what it is right now.
Right. And I joke because we have that book that we've included like details about the property and all of that. And I told my friends, I probably need to give them a page to dedicate to them because they were so generous and, you know, shared those things with us. So it was great. They could clean out their house and make the Collins property what it is.
It's really teamwork.
So throughout the design process, we knew that we wanted to add some good character touches throughout the home. So we had the opportunity to partner with several different organizations and businesses across the area, and we had products sent from them, and we in turn are going to highlight it in social media. And one of the good things that we did include with our whole agreement with them is we do have that book, and within there we have QR codes that someone can literally take their phone, scan the QR code, because we know that it's made a comeback, and they can be taken directly to that website. So if they see a piece of artwork that they love, they can scan the QR code and go directly to the site to purchase it for themselves. And one of the things that I told these organizations as we were doing it is, I learn about what I love design-wise when I go to other people's homes or restaurants. So how great would it be to go stay somewhere and say, oh my gosh, I really love that light fixture. I wonder where she got it or he got it. But the work is done for you. You go scan the book and like you're immediately taken to the website and you can purchase it right then and there. So I get inspired when I go other places. So I knew as people came into town, I also would want them to feel inspired. So I just took it a step further and also made it accessible to them if that's what they wanted to do. We've learned through the past few years as we've been flipping homes and now doing this Airbnb that there are challenges that come up, and it is 100% a learning process for us. I love that Josh and I kind of get together before we start and we make a game plan and a timeline. And as much as we would want things to stick to that timeline, that's not reality. So it's important for us to like get back together and huddle and make a new game plan. So tell us about that.
It's truly just teamwork. What Bethany just said is the constant communication between us and realizing that things are going to pop up. The floors might not be done to the right way. So we can either cry, yell about it, or we can make a plan, a solution, and move forward. I mean, one of my sayings I always say, you can't cry over spilt milk, just pour another glass. So it's just communication, moving forward, and realizing you're a step closer each day to the finished product.
And I do feel like there was an extra layer of like perfection that we approached this project with, because with a flip, you know, like it's going to hit the market. At the end of the day, it's not going to be your home. So that person who eventually becomes the owner is going to come in and make their own touches and make it what they want it to be. But this is our home. Like we are putting it on Airbnb and Vrbo and all of that, but it's our space. So we wanted it to be perfect. So if that meant we had to redo the floors and it set us back, we needed to do it because we wanted to operate on a level of excellence, and we had to just set that standard.
So what's neat with the Airbnb, and we can't really do this with any flip if we want to, but with this project, we wanted to give it a name. So we tossed out a few different ideas and we landed on the Collins property, which was really neat for us. So tell more about why we did the Collins property.
Traditionally, we've named our projects just off of the street that they're on, but this one, it was a little confusing because we said Greenwood Collins because it is Greenwood Street, but we landed on the Collins property because that's the middle name of our second child, Townsend. And Townsend's a little shy, but she's beautiful and full of character and charm, and you fall in love with her. And I felt like that's what this was. Like when we approached it, you could see there's so much potential here. It just needs to be loved on a little bit for it to shine, and that's Townsend. Love on her a little bit and she will just show you what she's all about.
One of the most important things for us as we're getting into this Airbnb business and the short-term rental business is realizing that unlike a flip, you don't have a project, a renovation budget, and an exit game. You actually have a purchase price, a renovation price. Now we have a monthly expense price. So we are getting together. We're talking about how much does toilet paper cost us? How much does, like you said earlier, makeup wipes cost us? What are true monthly expenses? So we have a true spreadsheet together. We're going through it on a every other week basis to kind of see, hey, what's our occupancy rate? Where are we bringing in? What do we need to change? And one of the key things there is going to be also knowing our area. When does Masters Week come up, for example? Those rates need to increase. When does a certain events, do we need to bring back our rate a little bit? So this is a never-ending project of keeping it live. So Bethany's done a really good job so far of just being in tune of what's going on in our town and our community to make sure we have all the adjustments needed. But this is such a fun project. Honestly, it can be a great opportunity for us to make a lot of income for our family. And we're just so excited about the opportunity to continue to do not only this project, but we really want more Airbnb projects here in town.
I think that's funny because when we went live, we got several inquiries day one, and I was like jumping for joy, like, oh my gosh, we did it. Like we did what we came here to do. But Josh was like, all right, let's go on to the next one. And I'm like, let's celebrate that we've gotten here and like it's successful. But one thing that I have loved so far that I wasn't anticipating to enjoy is the relationships that you get to form through like these booking sites, which I know sounds kind of funny, but oftentimes you'll have guests inquire about staying and they will tell you like why are they coming in town. So it was interesting to me, first of all, to just see like what the different things are that are bringing them to Aiken, but then also like one example is we had a couple that stayed with us this past weekend who were coming because they were getting ready to spend a couple months apart as he went into some training for the military. So I thought just what a great way to love on them, leave them a little board in Aiken in the refrigerator and some flowers and a card. And not that everybody gets that treatment, but just like learning their stories and like letting them enjoy the property. I just thought that was a fun thing, and it was really good to just form those connections and relationships, because then it turns into, hey, we'll be back, and that's the end goal for them to come back and enjoy it all over again.
That's a great way for us to love on people, and truly, it's almost like a ministry in some ways. So that's great.
So if you would love to stay at the Collins property, we always have the link handy, ready to send out to whoever asks. You can find it in my Instagram bio. You can find us, if you search on Verbo or Airbnb, just type in, I believe we've put Downtown Aiken within the title, so Downtown Aiken, the Collins property, and it should pop up one of the first few. So we'd love to have you stay. If you have family coming in town, we'd love for them to come and check it out.
Yeah, welcome to the Collins property.